A Family Affair on Orange Blossom Trail by Jackson Wesley Brown and Willie Brown. This book is dedicated to the many friendships that started on the highest of seven hills. Here it is again, the greatest time of the year. Our annual pilgrimage to the wetland swamp turned into an amusement park, Orlando. As a young child, I found it embarrassing the things that my father did. But now, as he struggles to move like he did 20 years ago, I am more appreciative. As my dad struggles with high blood pressure and pre-diabetic symptoms, I sometimes ponder if this could possibly be our last trip down south. A man that has always been my superhero and a constant source of entertainment now operates in the background. A man that was always the loudest in the room, the one that told the greatest stories, now sits quietly and watches from afar. For years, my dad and his friends would force us kids to attend the Orlando Classic, the annual Thanksgiving rivalry between two HBCUs that have a love-hate relationship. The mighty Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman versus the incomparable Rattlers of Florida A&M University and its world-famous marching band. I never understood the preparation that went into planning this family reunion, but now, as a high schooler, soon to be college student, it is now part of my very fiber. It has become an event that I anticipate more than my father. When I was a toddler, I just think that my mom had it right. She always chose to remain in Tallahassee in our beautiful, comforting home. I watched in amazement as my dad and Uncle Mike loaded pots and pans, cookers and fryers, coolers and tables, and all the disc jockey equipment they could carry. Now that I'm almost a man, I get it now. My mother knew the significance of this reunion and did not want to stand in my dad's way. As the truck starts to move, I can see the spark flickering in my father's eyes. As he loudly talks to all of his friends, charting their current locations and ETAs, I see the transformation of an old man back into a college kid. As he speeds down the road at speeds approaching 100 miles per hour, I too get excited. My family that I haven't seen in an entire year is just a short drive away. As we get closer to Champions Gate, our vacation home for the weekend, the conversations get louder and more intense. Jokes about who will eat the most, or who has lost the most hair, or gained the most weight begins. I pretend to be asleep, but I hear everything. A warm sense of joy surrounds me. As we park the truck and grab our suitcases, I take one last deep breath. The best way to equate this moment before the house doors open is the slow ascent of a roller coaster. You know a wild ride is about to begin and there's no turning back. And then it happens. Our family reunion and chaotic weekend ride begins. Uncle David, my dad's best friend and college roommate, is usually the first to greet us. They quickly begin hurling profanity and insults at one another. I love it. It's as if they are speaking a secret language that says, I've missed you, my friend. I want a friend like that. I then start the gauntlet of hugs and kisses. Older women sizing me up, seemingly in amazement at how much I've grown in just 1 year. It used to feel weird and gross, but now I actually like it. They tell me how handsome I have become and how much better I look than my dad. He curses them out too. As we get settled in, I find my crew, the kids, and the family reunion officially begins for us. David Jr., Marlisa, Sean, Christy, and Caleb, my partners in crime. Shooting pool, playing foosball, and video games. A weekend of very little sleep. Our parents are completely oblivious to what we are doing, and we wouldn't have it any other way. We secretly plot to record all the stupid things we know are about to happen. Hashtag Operation World Star. Orcan makes his way to the kitchen and immediately starts cooking. There's nothing better than a home-cooked meal at midnight. His food is delicious, but it doesn't come close to Mama D's and Uncle John's cooking. Mama D and Uncle John cook an entire Thanksgiving feast and drive it from North Carolina to Florida. Every delicious bite tastes of recipes handed down from many generations of cooking excellence. Mama D and John no longer make the trip due to health complications, so we make the most of what we have. A few other family members have missed this year's trip, but they are still family. Tamara and her kids, Paquita, Bud, and Ian will always be welcome with open arms next time they attend. Maybe they'll bring a new family member. After reintroductions, there's a feverish fight for beds, blankets, and towels. The last to arrive, which is usually us, gets stuck on the couches and sofas. As we get settled in, Aunt Danielle and Uncle Kevin emerge from their room. They travel all the way from the frigid temperatures of Chicago for this weekend love affair. They may look forward to this trip more than my dad. All of the adults met as college freshmen and sophomores and have been linked together for more than 30 years. They began as friends, but quickly evolved into a family. As a watchful observer, I have learned that blood does not make you a family. Try to convince me that these are not my brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, and uncles. You can't. I eagerly watch as my dad becomes a college kid all over again. And when my Aunt Latrell arrives, my dad becomes a prepubescent idiot. If my dad were a woman, I'm pretty darn sure he'd be just like Aunt Latrell. The two are like oil and water, perfectly mixed together. This is when the kids get out our camera phones. The fireworks and embarrassing shenanigans are now in full effect. To outside eyes, our vacation home is a madhouse. To me, this is pretty much the norm. All hell breaks loose when two things occurs. My dad connects the music equipment and the game of spades begin. I've never seen my dad happier. I truly feel how important these people are to him. Teammates that became brothers, friends that became a family, bound together by the love that they have for each other and the school that brought them together many, many moons ago. I pray that someday I find my family. I pray that my dad can overcome his health issues and be able to sit back like Mr. Watkins and watch me carry on a tradition that began long before I was born. I pray that my kids get to experience the same euphoric feeling that overcomes me every November, the Orlando Classic, our family reunion. Although I'm unsure as to which college I might attend, I hope I find my family there. My future roommate, my future wife, my future best man. I hope that my group of friends that I cannot live without is ready. My dad has taught me well. Give them complete hell for a weekend and love them for a lifetime. There's no place like home, and family is all that matters. Blood does not make you a family. Love does. As my dad sings oldies all the way home, I am at peace. His battery has been recharged and all is well. Next year, I will be a senior, and then off to college I go. Maybe I'll choose FAMU as well. Until next year's family reunion on Orange Blossom Trail, hopefully my Rattlers will win the freaking game. We hate losing. The End. By Jackson Wesley Brown and Willie Brown.